This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No. Always live. Always real. Always unpredictable.
You with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I'm in.
Tori just won't let it go.
No. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, March 28th. We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. I'm here with Tori, Bo, Brandon, and I am Sam. Let's get started. The president is weighing in on Jussie Smollett right now after the Empire actor was cleared of all charges in Chicago. He had been facing 16 felony counts for allegedly staging a hate crime attack. The president this morning tweeted the FBI and Department of Justice are going to review the case, calling it outrageous and an embarrassment to our nation. Meantime, Jussie's attorney was on the Today Show this morning, and she did not seem too worried about it. Watch.
You're probably aware of this breaking news that the FBI and the Department of Justice are now looking into the circumstances of the dismissal of charges against your client. Does that concern you?
Not at all. I mean, we have nothing to be concerned about because there was nothing on our end to request this, to do anything improper. And to my knowledge, nothing improper was done.
And what would it take to fix Jussie's image? That is the question that Jussie has asked his team to figure out. That's according to Team Z. And so that got us talking. Can Jussie come back from all of this, Bo? What would it take?
He can't do anything. I mean, this reeks of corruption from stinks to high heaven. I mean, Fox News is reporting they got a memo from Kim Fox. We know about Kim Fox. I mentioned her 2 days ago. I think we have it if you want to pull it up there. Yeah, so basically they're just summarizing. This is a scrambling memo they've put out. Let's find another felony where we did something similar, and they can't do it. They can't find it. So they're literally sending out a paranoid memo internally saying we can't find something. So, look, Kim Fox never even legally recused herself. You guys got to remember, she never legally recused herself. This thing stinks from high heaven.
The evidence that you just proved, that you just shown, is the reason why we're in this mess in the first place. These leaks from the Chicago PD, now from the office of our state attorney. This is why we're in this position in the first place.
But Brandon, sometimes you need the leaks to find out what the truth is, and that's the truth.
So now it's sometimes you need the leaks now, and then other times if there's a WikiLeaks or there's another leak.
I'm just saying that's showing exactly what's going on in the inner workings of the Illinois State Attorney's Office. Are you concerned about that?
No, I am concerned. I'm also concerned about the leaks from the Chicago Police Department that, like I said, put us in this situation.
They're not having to leak. They're putting a 61-page document online that everybody has seen and knows.
And there's an internal police investigation going on in the Chicago Police Department right now for some of those leaks.
Well, I believe the president is right to put the DOJ and FBI in this. I think we need to find out, get to the bottom of it.
I think transparency is always best. I'm glad that our president has faith in our Department of Justice. I really hope that they turn something up so we can move on from this. Tori, can he recover, though?
I agree with Bo. I really don't think he can be unless he says, we like second beginnings. If he was Michael Vick and said, I did this, I went through it all, I came back, I spoke with people, I did the Humane Society.
Go back on what he's saying?
No, I think he's a narcissist. I agree. The other thing is, guys, if he was just charged with this 16 felonies of disorderly conduct, he wouldn't get much more than just probation and community service.
So let's take Jussie Smollett out of this.
Correct.
You are our legal. Yeah. What would happen with a
Class 4 felonies are the least amount of felonies you can get. You can get probation, you can get community service, you can get fines. They are not likely to have been that much of jail time. In fact, a lot of people said it wouldn't have had jail time. So should he have just stuck around, dealt with the community service, maybe then he could have rebranded himself.
But the federal is much bigger.
I agree with that.
The FBI still
we'll have to wait and see.
Mail fraud.
And believe me, I think they are going to go after him.
They've been looking into that since a week before the attack. We've been 58 days since then. They caught the mail bomber in 96 hours.
Exactly, but I just researched it, and the Public of Information Act is asking the Chicago PD to ask if the two brothers were asked about that letter. Now we're getting a little closer from the FBI. That's 5 to 10 years in jail.
All right, so we will wait and see, and we will share that information with you. New information today on the Washington teen who pushed her friend off of a bridge. Kelly Schuberth has that news at the moment.
Sam, 19-year-old Taylor Smith was just sentenced for pushing her friend off a bridge last summer. You'll remember this viral video showing Smith pushing 16-year-old Jordan Holgerson off a bridge in Washington State. Now, Holgerson fell 60 feet, puncturing both lungs and breaking 5 ribs. Smith pleaded guilty to reckless endangerment and is now sentenced to 2 days in prison and 38 days of community service. So, DBL Nation, I want to know, do you think 2 days in jail is enough? Let me know using the hashtag DBLTake.
Thank you, Kelly. Looking forward to seeing what our DBL Nation has to say on that. Dramatic footage showing police breaking through a door in Arizona has people outraged right now. Here it is. Officers in tactical gear with guns raised forced their way into a home in Chandler, Arizona to take temporary custody of a 2-year-old boy. Why? Well, a doctor requested a welfare check after the boy's mom did not take him to the ER as she had recommended. The boy had a 105-degree temperature, which the doctor felt was life-threatening. But the boy's mom claims that the boy's fever broke, which is why she did not take him to the ER. Police wanted to be sure, so they got a court order to take the boy when his parents refused to let them check on him in their home. The parents have not been arrested, and the toddler and his siblings are staying with their grandparents until the parents regain custody. This is according to ABC News. A local representative called the action, quote, an abuse of power. But what do you think? Were the police in the right here? What do you, Tori, you're shaking your head.
I'm going to be surprising for you. I think the police were in the right here. First up, I know, and we can go at it. First off, the kid was unvaccinated. The doctor thought it might be meningitis. That's very contagious. Then they asked for a welfare check, and the parents could have said, sure, come on in, noticed that the fever had broken, moved on. They said no. At that point, they followed protocol. They got a court order because of the danger to the child. They asked to come in at the door. They said no again. They followed protocol. They could have had guns. And when they walked in, there was vomit all over all of the children's bedrooms. There was a shotgun unlocked in the bedroom. So at some point, I'm not saying they're bad parents, but I'm saying the police here, they followed protocol.
And the police had a number of different, in my opinion, protocols to de-escalate, right? That's what the welfare check was. That was the knocking on the door. I mean, we come in, we want to check on the child.
They did everything they could.
So do you not see this as a de-escalation gone wrong?
I don't know.
Because of the parents?
I just think that's a little excessive, right?
When a child's about to die?
How do we know? The child,
he had 105 fever.
The fever broke.
They didn't know that.
The child was okay. It's okay though. Why not call? Why not
they
call?
Did. They asked for a welfare check. They did.
I'm sure the parent told them, "Hey, my child is fine."
Yeah, but they want to see it. You got to see it for your own eyes.
The doctor. Look at the doctor's making the call for the welfare check. If a medical professional is saying you got to look into this, they didn't go to the hospital. That's on you, man.
I mean, they didn't go. But we know healthcare. If the fever broke when they were on their way home, where they were at Busch Gardens, it doesn't matter. Hold on.
I agree with you.
How much does it cost for an ER visit, Sam?
Well, no, and I agree with you. But then let the police come in and say, hey, we want to show you our child's fever has broke. Here's the thermometer. Please do a welfare check. They declined the welfare check. They declined to communicate with the police. The police felt like, in my opinion, that they had no option. And they were also, I'm sure, confused why this family wasn't cooperating. When someone's not cooperating, it makes you think, what's happening in there?
Yeah, imagine a kid was choking. It's much like a 105 fever. That is a death sentence. And when you go in there, you got to bust
I applaud them. Listen, I applaud these police officers here because God forbid they didn't do anything and that child's fever did not break and that child ended up dead. We would be all over our police men and women right now.
And if the child ended up dead because bullets were flying or something like that.
They didn't know they had guns. They wouldn't allow the welfare check. And in fact, they did have a shotgun unlocked. Police have to protect themselves.
I understand that. I know. I'm just
saying. I know that there are a number of incidents with police brutality and abuse of power. I'm with you right there. I just don't believe this is one of them. I don't believe this is one of them here.
Cool.
All right, moving on to the next story. Wendy Williams is standing by her man, or at least she's keeping her wedding ring bling. This despite the fact that her husband, Kevin Hunter, is allegedly having a long-time affair with a woman who recently gave birth to his child. That's according to several sources, including our very own. Well, TMZ caught up with the talk show host, and Wendy dodged questions about the rumored affair, but she had no problem showing off her wedding ring. So this got us asking. Wendy is famous for talking smack about celebrity gossip. So is she being hypocritical by not addressing her own? What would you say to that, Tori?
Yeah, I think it's, it's like glass houses. You can't throw stones if you have a glass house, and she does, and I think it's coming back to sort of karma bite her a bit.
Yeah, you're not exactly immune from the press when you're talking about gossip all the time.
And just think, how many people how many relationships has she talked about? Like, girl, you need to move on. You don't need to be with him. There are people sitting back watching this, sipping tea, not caring what happens to her. Don't care that she's in the sobriety house. Don't care that she's trying to better herself. They want to see her burn. They want to see that glass house come right down on top of her.
There's a German word for that, Tori will probably know, Schadenfreude, which is when you secretly like to see someone's demise.
Yeah.
People are sitting around maybe watching.
But she's been pretty hurtful to people in their own demise when they're at their worst. So if people are asking, is this fair karmically, you know?
But her fans absolutely love her, and they are going to stand by her.
I do. I love her, and
do you think she should have responded about her husband?
No, I don't. You know, but I do think it's hypocritical. Yeah. I think I can have that duality of thought. I think, you know what, she can kind of, you know, people can call her a hypocrite, but maybe it's just too raw for her. At the end of the day, I care about her sobriety, and if it's too raw for her to open up right now, I think then she needs to protect herself. All right, well, this next story is really cool.
Yes, it is.
Very cool. The world's largest T-Rex has been discovered. This is Scotty, who was found at a site in Canada. The animal, who lived 68 million years ago, weighed almost 20,000 pounds. Scientists estimate he may have lived to the ripe old age of 30. And Scotty saw a lot of action in his time, including a broken rib, a jaw infection, and broken tailbones, possibly from another T-Rex bite. Whoa. I love stuff like that, like this, too.
Is Scotty the best name?
Scotty is, you know why they named him Scotty?
No.
Because when they found him, what did they do?
They toasted to scotch.
They did? That's so cool.
It took over a decade to get Scotty out of in Canada. He was encased in sort of a rock. He's larger than a male African elephant. He lived to be like much older, and he seemed to have been a real badass.
What's your favorite dinosaur?
I like the brontosaurs for their herbivore.
Me too. That's my favorite one.
Eco-friendly.
Yeah,
real friendly.
They're so kind.
I like the Triceratops.
Yeah, they're very cool.
You have Velociraptors. I'm a Velociraptor guy.
Oh, Tori makes it. Tori's really good at this. Get a camera on Tori.
Okay, ready?
Wait, how do you know it makes that noise? But how do you know it makes that noise?
From Jurassic Park.
Tell the story about.
Someone says that you don't actually know because we can't find vocal cords. The dinosaurs could have sounded like la 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 la.
It could be operatic.
I doubt it though.
We'll never know.
Little arms going.
DBL is live. We'll bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. Coming up, a World War II vet and an adorable toddler defy the odds and become best friends. Their story in today's Heart Threads. Also, Marvel Comics gets a superstar for its latest superhero film. We'll tell you all about it. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. Women are allowed to go topless in one Colorado town after a court said anything else would be gender discrimination. So DBL Nation, should both men and women be allowed to go topless in public? Your comments coming up next.
DBL Nation, Kelly Schubert with the DBL Digital team here. I hope everyone is having a great morning. Let's go over to the table. Let's not. Let's stay over here. I've got a story for you. Guess what? I'm here, so I didn't win Powerball last night. But you know who did? Somebody in Wisconsin. $768 million. Yeah, New Berlin. Do you know where that is?
Oh, yeah.
Does your family live there?
I'm sorry, what?
Does your family live there?
No.
Oh, man.
No. There are not people
so no chance
in New Berlin.
Oh.
No. But I saw it and I'm like, great. Like, somebody from New Berlin actually needed that money. Okay.
Do they? Is that a good, is that?
It's like a...
Is it affluent?
It's middle/upper middle.
Oh.
So, I mean, it's, you know, it's got some good parts, some just regular parts. So it's...
hopefully it's someone who will do something really good with that money.
Southeastern Wisconsin. Hey, at least the Packer fans got more money.
Oh, boy.
It's always a good thing.
I just feel like nobody in Colorado ever wins. It's always California, New York, New Jersey, all those places. And they did get some $1 million winners.
This is the first time somebody in, well, this is the first time I've seen somebody, and I'm sure it's happened before in DBL Nation, please go do some research on this and let me know.
Yeah.
But, you know, the thing that we all, like, assume is that you have to not be in a metro area to win.
Yeah.
You drive like 2 hours away to buy your tickets, and then you come back to your city. But this place is like directly next to the city of Milwaukee.
Oh, it is.
So like they're actually in part of like Milwaukee County, and it's just like
that's no fun for me.
Interesting.
Meh.
So, you know, yeah, City Folk won this time, everybody.
Yeah. DBL Nation, did you buy tickets? Are you disappointed? Did you win even $2? Because if you did, that's still exciting. I haven't checked my tickets yet, but I am going to check them. Maybe I've got 10K in there. Who knows? DBL Nation, let us know. See you soon.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. Women are allowed to go topless in a Colorado town, and the city council is deciding whether to take the issue to the Supreme Court. Last year, a federal court ruled that it's gender discrimination if men can go topless and women can't. Other people say, come on, our bodies are different. It's not the same thing at all. So DBL Nation, what do you think? Should both men and women be able to go topless in public?
All right, let's get to these comments. Tori's laughing. All right. Coco from Facebook says, should both men and women be allowed to breathe in public? Yes. That's my answer for both questions. I agree. I have no problem with this because if you look at it, we have ancient civilizations out there where they're still naked, or they wear leaves or something as their garment. Adam and Eve was naked. We look at, and then there's times I'm running Cherry Creek Trail and I see men with bigger boobs than women. I don't want to see that. Make them put a top on.
The man boob. Lila from Facebook says, I think we should be fighting for equal pay first. Just so you know, the Paycheck Fairness Act just passed in the House. We're waiting for the Senate, but we just found out we're getting 79 cents to the dollar for men, so I completely agree with you, Layla. As for me, I would never run topless, but I absolutely think if a man could, a woman could too. I don't understand why there would be a difference.
We're not talking about the symptom. The symptom is we have over-sexualized breasts.
Yeah.
When the real function is they're feeding tools for our children. But because we've over-sexualized them, especially here in this country, that's why we're having this issue.
I'll chime in next. Says, just lift the ban. Like in other countries, we'll all get used to the exposure in due time. I don't know if desensitization is the right way. I mean, look, our reproductive organs serve a function, do they not? Why not desensitize us to those? You cool with that?
I walk around free ball. I don't care.
I think there's some things that should be kept decent. I don't know.
I understand the decency part of it. I do.
But breasts are functional. Well, so are other anatomy parts. So,
but it's different. A man can't show that, and a woman can't show that. But a man can take his top off, and I can't. Why is that fair?
I don't know if that's an egalitarian thing. I think it's more about.
It's not that I want to do it, but I want the choice to do it.
Let's get in Tara from Facebook. She says, I'd rather vote to have topless men put their shirts back on.
Agree. There are some men out there who do not need to be topless.
Hey, I'm okay with bodies in all different shapes and sizes.
Well, you're saying you got to go either way. Either both are topless or none are.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, make the rule equal.
It doesn't bother me at all. If a woman wants to run with her breasts out, if a man wants to run, no matter what size, shape he's in, I think.
I would wonder what children would think about it. That would be my concern.
I'm okay with my children seeing breasts exactly how they are.
I just think considering how hypersexualized our society is, I would worry about that.
See, that's the problem. I think Bo's right. We do have to address that our culture here is so hypersexualized. It seems very idealistic to just say that we can do this.
Right.
In reality, I'm not sure if our culture is capable of doing that.
Agreed.
So that's the truth. Marvel is about to land one of Hollywood's biggest stars. Raquel Villanueva has the news at the moment.
Well, Sam, move over Spider-Man because Angelina Jolie is in talks to star in Marvel's next big superhero film. It's called The Eternals, and it's based off a 1970s comic featuring near immortal humans, and it's all part of the new series of heroes that will emerge after the Avengers Endgame debuts next month. This would be Angelina's first superhero film, and there's no word on what character the Oscar winner will play yet, but she's no stranger to playing a villain because she's reprising her role as Maleficent later this year.
I kind of like it.
What? Another superhero movie?
They do very well in
They do.
They are
Oh my gosh.
It's the year of the superhero superwoman.
Exactly.
Oh, y'all gonna just turn up on me today.
Yeah, they've been successful financially, so why wouldn't you do it?
So would you rather see a superhero movie or would you rather see her in Salt too? Because Salt was great.
Both.
Yeah. Not either
There's no winning with y'all today. There's no winning with y'all today.
Coming up on DBL, a music class turned one man's life upside down when he met an unexpected best friend. You'll want to see this coming up in today's Heart Threads.
Happy birthday, Kyle Baxter. Happy birthday to
you went really high with
I thought we was going to harmonize, but you also went high.
Yeah, I don't know what harmonize even means.
Okay, good call. Kyle Baxter, we wish you the best. You're an OG viewer, and I'm so proud of you for watching and for enjoying. Now, Stephen George wrote to me, and I need you to look this up.
Yes.
Stephen George wrote this, that the Scotty, the dinosaur's toe, was 42 feet long, longer than a bus. I can't imagine that's real. If it is, I give you $1. I'll send you a Snickers bar in the mail, I promise you. But toes the size of a bus? I'm also not good with sizes, so I could be totally wrong. But he is 20,000 pounds, and a male African elephant weighs about 14,000 pounds.
That's from head to toe, 42.
Oh, from head to toe. Oh, I'm sorry, I read it wrong. I'll give you a Snickers and $1. He wrote from head to toe. This makes so much more sense. I thought, what a big toe. I thought you're totally out of your mind. From head to toe, Stephen, you're absolutely right. Scotty's length was 42 feet long, longer than a bus. And just so you know, he was stuck, Scotty, in the rock, and it took over, they found him in 91, but it took over a decade to get him out of there. Now, the way they measure size is, look right here, this is called your femur. Alex, can you show it? Are they seeing it? This is your femur, and how they do it is they measure femur of the body to other bones of dinosaurs, and it was 8 inches wide. Boop, boop, the bus is a-coming.
Welcome back to DBL. Today's Hard Threads is all about friendship. Watch how music brought two unlikely people together. This 95-year-old vet and 3-year-old toddler make an unlikely pair, but they share an incredible bond. Stanley and Etta first met at a music class at an assisted care facility. The toddlers come to play and make music with the seniors, who all have some form of dementia or Alzheimer's. The toddlers pass out instruments to the seniors, which is how Etta and Stanley's friendship began.
She ended up loading him up one day with like 8 instruments and didn't pass them out to anybody else.
Now anytime someone mentions Etta, Stanley perks up. Sometimes he forgets, but seeing her face makes everything click again. Outside of music class, they get together to play games too.
I mean, I like music, but I like this one better.
Their bond goes to show that friendship can form between just about anyone.
I think that there's just a feeling between them that they know that they just love each other and care about each other.
Wow, that just hit me right here. Well, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to DBL. Nancy Drew has made an unwavering impression on girls and women since the 1930s, proving that she's a feminist icon. Now she's back with a little 21st century charm. I talked to the star of the latest installment, Sophia Lillis, in today's Chatting with the Stars. Sophia, welcome to DBL. So happy to have you on. The character Nancy Drew starred in the Hardy Boys' Nancy Drew Mysteries during the 70s. She was rebooted in the 80s and most recently updated in the Girl Detective series. So I want to know, how do you think she's changed throughout the years?
I feel like this movie is kind of a remembrance of Nancy Drew for the newer generation. In order for kids to kind of see themselves in Nancy Drew, you kind of have to have a more modern take on her. I think Nancy Drew kind of has this responsibility to be this role model for these kids who watch this headstrong girl solving mysteries.
The way your brain works is so cool.
That's so cool. And you're 17, and Nancy Drew has been around since the 1930s. So why do you think Nancy is such an icon to girls and women like Oprah, Barbara Walters, Laura Bush? And I mean, how does that make you feel to play such a beloved figure?
It's a little stressful. Everyone looks up to Nancy Drew. She's such an independent character. She does what she wants and kind of lives her life she wants to live her life. It's really inspiring, and I guess that's why people really look up to her. So kind of being that girl is a little bit, has a little bit of responsibility.
It's a good responsibility.
Yeah, a good responsibility.
And I need to know, were you a fan of the books before the movie?
I've heard of Nancy Drew, but I never actually read any of the books. I never really got into the Nancy Drew books until, I heard about this project.
And many of us know you from the remake of Stephen King's It. So I want to know, what was it like playing a character from a story with such a huge fan base?
I knew there was a fan base, but I didn't know how big it was until the movie came out. It was very surprising for me, very shocking. I didn't know what an impact this movie has.
You can catch Nancy Drew and The Hidden Staircase in theatres. Sophia, thank you again for chatting with us.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome back to DBL. Our very own Al Jackson, Erica Cobb, and Brandon London can now add cover model to their resumes because they are featured on the cover of Denver Urban Spectrum magazine. Denver Urban Spectrum is a monthly publication which aims to inform, entertain, and connect people of color. In the cover story, our hosts discuss the lack of representation for African Americans in media and how they're overcoming these challenges. This article, by the way, is fantastic, and you can read the whole thing at denverurbanspectrum.com. Brandon.
This is my first big article, big cover story since retiring from football. And it's kind of like my rite to passage for me being a media person now. Because I got to really dive deep into who I am, not just as an athlete. We touched on that a little bit, but I got to talk about, some of the influences I've had in media, Michael Strahan. Yeah. And, the biggest thing, I learned a lot about Al and Erica Cobb, our co-host. Two remarkable people, two very smart people. I can't wait till this hits and people get a chance to go out and read this.
You guys got to read it.
Amazing.
It's an absolutely fantastic, in-depth article. And honey, this is your next chapter.
Oh yeah.
So
it's
very.
my calling.
It is. It is. We will see you same time, same place tomorrow. Have a fantastic Thursday, everybody. Bye bye.